This is the World Series champion Chicago Cubs on ABC7.
Beautiful night in Philadelphia as we get you set for Cubs baseball on ABC7. The Cubs a 7-1 loss last night. But they still have a 3-game lead in the National League Central. Welcome to Cubs baseball on ABC7 along with JD. I'm Lenny Baseball, and we'll have fun with the nicknames tonight. It is Players Weekend here in Philly, and let's get right into our Blue Moon Perfect Pitch. Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs tonight.
Yeah, when opposing hitters stand in against Kyle Hendricks, they're concerned about two things primarily: the sinker and the changeup. He goes back and forth very well with those two pitches. That's a fastball, a little cutting action. Every now and then he'll elevate. His best pitch, though, is the changeup. He can manipulate it, catches hitters out in front all the time. So now they're looking for that changeup. And what does he do? He locks you up with a heater. You take it right down the middle. So you're sitting fastball next time up. What does he do? He's going to throw you another changeup.
Blue Moon brewed with Valencia orange peel for a taste that shines brighter, and that'll lead us into tonight's starting pitching matchup, which is brought to you by Goodwill. For whatever style you want today, amazing.
Kyle Hendricks on the road this year has made 7 starts. He's 2-2 with a 3.46 ERA. It's a rookie going for the Phillies tonight. Our first look at Ben Lively. His last 4 starts winless with a 4.15 earned run average.
Yeah, we are told the scouting report he has been lively so far this season. Yeah, you'll hear more dad jokes like that. Cubs and Phillies coming up next right here on ABC7. You experience TV by Ford, America's best-selling brand, inviting you to go further in our fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. By Lakeside Bank, personal customized banking. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. And by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. You got Rocky in the big bout tonight?
I got Spider Rico.
Tonight's HD broadcast is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines Cubs lineup. Jay, Schwarber, and Bryant at the top. Schwarber homered in the opening inning last night, the only run the Cubs would score. Rizzo, Avila, and Almora in the middle. La Stella, Baez, and Hendricks rounded out.
And the Fightins defensively, the rookie Hoskins in left, Florimo and an infielder turned maybe outfielders in center, Nick Williams and other rookies out there in right field. Franco, Galvis, Fernandez, Joseph third to first. Alfaro is the catcher. He too is a rookie, as is the starting pitcher, Ben Lively. So a lot of youngsters for the Phillies these days as they rebuild. Lively making his 9th start. He's pitched well. He hasn't won much, just has 1 win. 4 losses, but a very good 3.70 ERA. He's made 6 quality starts of his 8. League bats .286 against him. He's done a nice job keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's allowed just 4 home runs.
All right, JD, it is now time for your Mercedes-Benz keys.
Yeah, put it in play. Cubs have been striking out a bunch. 14 times last night, 36 times over the last 3 ball games. Top down. Keep the top of the order off base for the Phillies. They were on base all night last night, and Reese is the word. Reese Hoskins, their young left fielder, hitting home runs at an epic pace, the likes of which we have not seen since early 2017 when Aaron Judge was doing it.
We are underway. John Jay takes ball 1 on a fastball outside. Lively back quickly, and that's a strike according to Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire.
4-pitch mix for Lively. Fast curve, slider change. He'll use the curve more than the slider.
Deep breath by the right-hander, and the pitch, swing and a miss. He got him on some elevation.
So much for putting it in play. And it's Jay to go way out of the zone.
Weather at first pitch is brought to you by 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons. It's been a great week here on the road weather-wise. And that continues into the weekend here in Philly.
And a win tonight and tomorrow, and you would say it's been a good week baseball-wise as well.
1-0 on Kyle Schwarber, who homered, long home run in the first last night, his 22nd. That's a strike. 1-1 on him. Brewers lost late last night in LA, so the Cubs maintain their 3-game lead. 1-2.
Cardinals lost their ball game as well, so no harm done with the loss last night. Just chop another date off the calendar.
The NL Central standings are brought to you by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. Only 2 teams in the division currently above the 500 mark. So Lively's nickname, as you see, Bebo on the back of his jersey, his grandfather gave him that nickname. He said every time we went to Little League practice there was a Bebo's car wash on the way, and that's how he got the name. Breaking ball lifted, foul to left and out of play.
Bebo played his college ball at the University of Central Florida, was a 4th-round pick of the Reds in 2013. Traded to the Phillies for Marlon Byrd. It's the Reds minor league pitcher of the year early in his career. So dominating minor league seasons.
Ball 4. First base runner for the Cubs, a Kyle Schwarber walk. And that'll bring up Chris Bryant. And I guess he's going to wear a different pair of shoes every day in this series. And this is a tribute to San Diego, where he went to college. Well, Vegas tribute to his hometown last night as he steps in.
It's like Imelda Marcos. You promised more dad jokes.
I did. Curve strike on Bryant.
That'll get the young and scurry into the Google machine. Just type in Imelda Marcos shoes.
Lively has the sign and the pitch. That ball lined out into left center. Schwarber with the play in front of him will hold at second. So 2 on for Anthony Rizzo.
A little early run support would be very nice for Kyle Hendricks, who's pitched quite well of late, just having a hard time getting wins. So chance to put a run or two on the board here early. Good solid single for Chris Bryant. Lively, as a big leaguer, has not, as I mentioned, not struck out many. He's well below average in terms of his strikeout rate, been more of a pitch to contact guy.
Here's Rizzo. 2 on, 1 out. Strike one. Nice honor for Anthony's parents. John and Lori Rizzo today were honored in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. They received the 2017 George and Barbara Bush Little League Parents of the Year Award. Strike two. So congratulations to John and Lori.
Yeah.
We see them around the ballpark all the time. You know, I've talked to Anthony about his dad and said it just was an awesome dad in terms of baseball. And the quote from John was, if the boys won, we had ice cream, and if we lost, we still had ice cream. That's the way it should be. He was a very positive guy in terms of his parenting in that regard.
Yeah, the old school approach, right? When you're in Little League way back in the days, if you got rewarded if you won.
Well, I think Anthony was a self-motivator too, so.
Yeah, I know my brother played on a Little League team, and one of the sponsors was a pizzeria, and the co-sponsor had like a Tasty Freeze, so they were promised pizza and ice cream after every win, and they went like 1-14.
Let's check out the Cubs run
Losers.
expectancy, brought to you by Toyota. First and second, 1 out. Maybe you needed more ice cream.
Needed more players.
Long look by Lively. Quick glance at Schwarber. Rizzo pops into left. Coming over is Hoskins. And 2 down. It'll bring up Alex Avila.
Hoskins, a first baseman throughout his minor league career. He hasn't been playing professionally all that long. He's been a first baseman, and then the tremendous home run hitter. The Phillies down at AAA had him play just a handful of games in the outfield before inserting him in the outfield here. Florimon, the center fielder, as I mentioned, he's been an infielder throughout his career, but they view him as a guy who maybe could become that super utility guy, play all over the field. So some guys out of position in terms of what their career path would indicate. And when you got a guy who hits home runs like that, you're going to find a spot for him.
Yep. Avila with his 17th game as a Cub tonight. He's hit 3 home runs since the trade, slashing .283, .389, and .500 as a Cub. He's had a nice offensive season. Pitch number 22 of the inning is high. 2 balls, no strikes. Alfaro will Walk it back to his pitcher.
Yeah, Bebo's been up a bit here in the first inning, and maybe trying to overpower the ball, not trusting movement and location, just relying on trying to find a little extra zip. But they're trying to throw a two-seamer in that would run to the inside corner, and he just flies open, and ball really runs on him. Front shoulder leaks. Ball's elevated with run but not sink. And with Avila, you got to be careful too. That little two-seam runner away, he's really good about pounding that one into the alley in left center. That's kind of his stroke. Check out our Comcast Xfinity strike zone, and you see that he has been up a little bit here to Alex. Rookie pitcher, rookie catcher.
The 2-1 is bounced foul to first.
Lively made his debut back on June 3rd against the Giants. Pitched 7 innings of 1-run ball. As a matter of fact, his first 3 big league starts, he pitched 7 innings each time. Quality work each time.
Facially kind of has the Garrett Cole, Ian Happ thing working. Two swing and a miss. He struck out a couple of Cubs. Jay and Avila. Phillies coming up. Is brought to you by Fix Auto. Hernandez and Galvis did a lot of damage last night from the top of the order. Williams had a tough night, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Hoskins off to this record home run pace. Tommy Joseph's had a good homestand for them. He plays first. Franco at third. He homered late in game 1. Florimon at center. Alfaro the catcher. And Lively the pitcher. He homered in a game in Arizona in late June.
Kyle Hendricks, tough for him to get a decision. 4-4. This is his 18th start, 3.52 the ERA. 6 starts since coming off the DL. He has a 2.45 ERA, but is 0-1 in those 6 ball games.
Strike 1 on the switch hitting Hernandez.
Kyle 2-1 in his career against the Phillies. Last year split 2 decisions with a 1.93 ERA. Pitched a complete game against the Phils at Wrigley. did Hendo.
Hernandez 3 for 4, a triple, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs last night. He's batting .458 against Cubs pitching this season. .290 overall, but a swing and a miss on the changeup. Or strike 3.
Cubs defense is brought to you by Plumbers 911. Emergency plumbing service is one click away at plumbers911.com. Schwarber, Almora, Jay in the outfield. Bryant Baez, who made another spectacular play last night. Listella and Rizzo on the infield. Avila behind the plate. Calling for those sinkers and changeups from Kyle Hendricks. And the occasional curveball.
Freddie Galvis, 2 hits, a walk. Knocked in a run, stole 2 bases, and was caught trying to steal home. Pretty eventful night for him last night. And takes ball 1. .1-0 pitch is outside. John Lackey will go tomorrow, and then the Cubs will head back home to play the Pirates and the Braves. That one clubbed out into deep right center, and it's going to bang off the wall. Almora will get it back in, but not before Galvis has a double.
Galvis has been with the Phillies since 2012. This is his 3rd season getting everyday assignments at shortstop. When he first came into the league, he was kind of a slap the ball around the field kind of guy. But Scooter Gennett, he's learned how to drive the baseball. Last year hit 20 home runs. This year he's got 11. I used to think of him as more of a slap hitter. He's got legitimate pop.
Here's a rookie, Williams, hitless last night. Mentioned earlier, 3 strikeouts along the way. And that caught the outside corner. 23 years old. Came over from Texas in the Cole Hamels deal.
See, after the tough night last night, you can see the body language already with that borderline pitch called against him, the frustration on his face. Woke up this morning and we say, hey, what time is it? He said 0-2.
So pitcher and catcher will talk it over. And might be times when a catcher just goes, change up. You could probably lock up a hitter by doing that. Oh my
goodness, yeah.
Because the hitter's thinking, well, he's not going to really throw one.
Yeah, I've heard pitchers talk about doing that, especially with a guy that just wears them out. So instead of trying to trick him, just say, flip your glove as if to say, here comes a fastball.
A little high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Good changeup.
He's got very good action on that pitch. 2 starts ago against Cincinnati. I think is the best I've seen him in a while in terms of location and movement on the changeup and sinkage on the heater. Last time out against Toronto, a no decision. He went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs. He's up a little bit more than you normally see him, though, in that start. Gave up some hard contact.
The 1-2 was tapped foul. That was another changeup.
Two-handed play by the ball girl. Fundamentally sound. There are the numbers for Kyle in his start against the Jays. Cubs won that ball game 6-5 in 10 innings.
Galvis at second, 1 away. 1-2 pitch, change up, got him.
Yeah, see, sometimes as a pitcher, after a couple of changeups, go, all right, I slowed him down. Now I'm going to speed him up. There are other times when the scouting report says, you know what, this guy just doesn't recognize changeups very well. Keep throwing it.
Nice hand for Rhys Hoskins. And why not? 9 homers. And number 9 came last night in his 54th career at bat. Fastest player in the modern era to 9 career home runs. Quote after the game, you get into the zones, you know, you can't really explain it.
He continues to do this. Pitchers are going to start working him out of the zone a little bit, and as a minor leaguer he showed great plate discipline, so that's going to be interesting to see whether he's able to maintain that.
Hoskins over the last 7 games has hit 6 home runs and knocked in 16. They had an item in the Phillies game notes. Mike Schmidt, the Hall of Famer in 18 seasons with the Phillies, never had 16 RBIs over any 7-game span. He's working Phillies TV tonight with Tom McCarthy and John Kruk. There is a point where reality will hit Hoskins, but it hasn't yet. Fouled back. I mean, invariably he's going to probably go through an 0 for 20.
Yeah, and but you know, I think, you know, we've seen a lot of people come to the big leagues, young guys have success early, and then the league figures them out and they never become what you thought they might be. But I like this kid's chances, you know, given the raw power. 38 home runs last year at AA, 29 this year at AAA. Then you add what he's done so far this year here at the big league level, and the plate discipline. He's not just a wild swinger.
I think Cub fans of a certain age are shuddering as they see Mike Schmidt, although they're happy to see him not in uniform. A long-time Cub killer, Mike Schmidt.
I gave up his last major league home run.
That's right.
Yet another one of my brushes with greatness.
I think Tom McCarthy just reminded him of it. One and 2 on the dangerous Hoskins. In the air, pretty well hit. This one will go. Are you kidding? He's got 10. 2-0 Phillies.
Move over Giancarlo Stanton. This is just incredible what this kid is accomplishing, and that appeared to be a pretty good pitch. It was a changeup, and he went down and got it. And much like last night, just a little shake of the head and a smile as if to say, I don't know. I don't know.
So 10 home runs, 17 major league games. And a strike on Tommy Joseph, the first baseman. Oh, 2.
Joseph, a power threat as well. He's hit 19 home runs this year, 21 last year. He's one of a handful of Phillies that hit 40 home runs in their first 2 big league seasons, 40 combined. Hoskins might get there before the end of the year.
All the outs were strikeouts, but Galvis with the 1-out double. Hoskins the 2-out home run, and it's 2-zip Phillies. Brian Cheverini for season 7 of ABC 7's Windy City Live, premiering September 5th, weekdays at 1 p.m. on ABC 7. Cubs are down 2-0 to the team with the worst record in baseball, but they have one of the hottest home run hitters in Rhys Hoskins. 7-1 Phillies last night. They lead 2-0 here tonight. Almora tried to get out of the way, but he swung at the pitch, according to Ryan Adeton. 0-2 on him. Albert's Players Weekend nickname is Tico. His father is Alberto, so Albert is known as Albertico, shortened to Tico.
I like it.
Tribute patch to mom and dad. On the ground to the shortstop, Galvis. 1 out.
One fortunate fan will win a Player Grade 2016 World Series ring donated by Jostens, with proceeds benefiting Cubs charities. Now through September 4th, Cub fans can purchase raffle tickets for $10 each. Tickets can be purchased online and at official raffle locations around Chicago. Cubs.com/ring raffle for details.
New Jersey native Tommy La Stella takes ball 1. He's playing second base tonight. No Happ, no Zobrist in the lineup. No Jason Hayward. Bronco plays in at third. That pitch is in the dirt on a curveball, 2-0.
It's a good balanced bench that Joe Madden has, if need be, later on the ball game, with one left, one right, and a couple of switch hitters.
Three and 1 to Tommy. Joe Madden from nearby Hazleton, Pennsylvania. 3-1, hit high in the air, and this baby will get on out of here into the bullpen. Cubs on the board. It's 2-1.
Second home run for Tommy on this road trip, and yeah, you put him in a fastball count where he can sit dead red. You know, you normally think of Tommy, as a high average line drive hitter, but he'll pick his shots to take a big rip at one, and 3-1 fastball. He's going to let it fly, and he does here. It's your Toyota home run replay. Center cut heater. And Tommy, no doubt, with some family and friends in the ballpark tonight, you're going to enjoy that swing of the bat.
Home run number 4 on the year. Cubs within a run. Baez takes ball 2. With that first run for the Cubs, Chicagoland's own Midwest Equity Mortgage will donate $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families. That pitch was up, and all Baez could do was pop it up. Hernandez has it.
Yeah, it's one where it backed up a little bit on Lively, and it actually worked to his benefit. That slider, if it runs out over the plate a little bit more, Baez probably jogging around the bases as well. He's been up with a lot of his pitches. I think at times with the fastball it's been intentional, but I don't think his plan is to elevate breaking pitches.
Can you purposely make breaking balls, as you say, back up?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like when you want to throw like if you're a right-handed pitcher and you want to throw a backdoor slider to a left-handed hitter. Normally, it's not your intent to back it up on a right-handed hitter. Some guys do. Now, that's what they used to say about Catfish Hunter. That's why he was so good. He threw a little baby slider I remember when I was in AAA, we had a coach by the name of Jerry McNertney, and he had played against Catfish in his day. And he said, you go 0 for 4, and you think, man, that little slider was right there, and I kept popping it up. And he said, by the end of the night, you realize that's what he was trying to do.
Two and two on the pitcher, Hendricks.
Catfish Hunter was a Hall of Fame pitcher who pitched primarily in the 70s.
Lively picks up his third strikeout, but LaStella got him. It's 2-1 Phillies.
Cubs news, please visit the ABC7 Cubs blog at abc7chicago.com/Cubs. Presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side.
Phillies batting in the second inning, leading 2-1. Franco, Florimon, and Alfaro against Kyle Hendricks. First pitch, bounce to third. It's foul. Franco had 2 hits, including a late home run last night. That was off Felix Pena.
Franco's a talented guy, young player. Today's his birthday, as a matter of fact. 25 today. Raquel Franco, low pitch, middle in, and whacked it into the seats. He's been going backwards though since he came into the big leagues. A handful of games in 2014, played 80 games in 2015, and posted an OPS of 840.
Right back to the pitcher. Hendricks will underhand toss to Rizzo for the out.
Last year his OPS dropped by over 100 points to 733, and this year it's 669, batting .223, 30 points below what he hit last year.
Among the major league trailers in OPS.
Yeah.
Florimon, a switch hitter, playing center. I mentioned last night they've got a couple of injuries out there. Odubel Herrera and Aaron Altair, both on the DL.
Yeah, Altera's had a great year. He's had some injury issues. The series at Wrigley with the Phillies, he was out of control good.
I'm liking Odubel's hairdo down there, and that's been a topic of conversation. Regarding Joe Madden, there was a big Paul Sullivan piece about, is Joe coloring his hair? The answer is yes. Elevated changeup, but he missed it. He's got the blue steel look with the new shampoo. It's so fun because Joe loves pushing people's buttons in that regard. I think he wanted guys to notice.
And nobody was saying anything.
Nobody would say anything.
They're all tiptoeing around him. Goes, Joe coloring his hair? What's going on with Joe's hair?
2-2 pitch. He struck him out looking. Commemorate this inaugural Players Weekend at MLBShop.com with limited edition Chicago Cubs jerseys and tees featuring player pick nicknames. Wear the gear the players are wearing on field this weekend. Available while supplies last at MLBShop.com. Now the catcher Alfaro. Snapped a 9-game hitting streak to start his MLB season last night, but he took his first 2 walks of the year. He had drawn 1 walk in his first 54 major league plate appearances dating back to last year. And he's sitting in a hitter's count 2-0.
You look at his minor league numbers throughout his career, that's been who he has been as a hitter. Not very patient, a lot of strikeouts, not many walks. Pretty good power.
Sharing time with Cameron Rupp after his call up to replace Andrew Knapp. He went to the DL.
Part of that big deal with the Rangers. Cole Hamels deal, July of 2015.
Alfaro from Colombia, when he signed with Texas, he got a signing bonus of $1.3 million, the largest ever for a player from Colombia. Two from Hendricks, lined into the left field corner. Alfaro will make the turn on his way to second. He's got a double. The Phillies have 3 hits, all for extra bases.
That was a breaking ball that stayed up in the zone. On the plate and up a little bit, and that allowed Alfaro to barrel it up.
Lively can swing the bat a little bit, hitting .231, and he has homered. As he bats with the man at second and 2 outs. Ground ball. Baez has it. And the side retired. Cubs trail by a run after 2.
Fitness News in the Morning, weekdays with Pharrell Brown, Tanya Babbage, Roz Varon, and Tracy Butler.
Two-one Phillies. Always great to have you with us for Cubs baseball. Trying to get back to 10 games over the 500 mark. Cubs won the first 2 games of this trip in Cincinnati. Lost a late lead there on Thursday. And then dropped the 7-1 decision last night.
That was quality lid there for the birthday boy. As per usual, a lot of Cub fans in attendance this evening.
Jay struck out on a high fastball to open up the ball game as he bats here in the 3rd inning.
He's rocking some cool shoes.
Giving his alma mater some love. The U. He's got 305 J on his jersey. And a 3-0 count. If you look at Lively's opponent's slash line, it's gotten better for him each time through the order here in the early going of his career. And that's usually not the case. A lot of times that batting average goes up 2nd, 3rd time through the order. Missed on a breaking ball, and that's a leadoff walk. Let's take a look at tonight's Comcast Business of Baseball. Giancarlo Stanton, going by the nickname Cruz. I believe that's one of his middle names. 49 home runs this season. Last National League player to hit at least 49 was Prince Fielder, who hit 50 in 2007.
And when he gets to 50, he will be the 3rd active player to have a 50 home run season, joining Jose Bautista and Chris Davis. The Orioles' Chris Davis. Davis did it in 2013, Bautista back in 2010.
So his full name is Giancarlo Cruz Michael Stanton. So he was Mike Stanton when he came to the big leagues and eventually said, no, my first name's Giancarlo. And for Players Weekend, he's got Cruz on the back of his Marlins jersey. 0-2 on Kyle Schwarber, who walked in the 1st.
Wonder if he contemplated Mike, or used to be Mike.
Nay, Mike, N-E-E. Inside. Fastball with movement, 1-2. Ben Lively is from Gulf Breeze, Florida, just south of Pensacola, right across the bay. JD mentioned a 4th rounder of the Reds. Traded here for Marlon Byrd.
He was their minor league pitcher of the year last year. They call it the Paul Owens Award, their minor league player of the year. He won 18 games to lead all of minor league baseball.
Yeah, that was the most wins by a minor league pitcher since 2008.
I think it's hard for minor league pitchers to get wins because they're very careful about their pitch count. They don't pitch that many innings.
Yep. Foul tip, strike 3. They get Schwarber. Got 4 strikeouts in the early going. That'll bring up Bryant. He's 1 for 1.
Again, gets underneath that ball, elevates the fastball, gets the chase from Kyle. Got a weakness for that pitch. A lot of guys do.
I got a weakness for the ice cream in the media dining room here in Philadelphia.
That's exactly that.
Goodness gracious.
The high fastball is just like the ice cream guy here. You can't pass by him without. Yeah, go ahead. Give me a scoop or two.
Bryant just got drilled. Yeah, Frank does a great job. So 2 on. Let's see where it got him.
Well, it gets him a lot. Lead arm. Down around the wrist. That was the real scary one. He missed a day after that one.
KB stands for kind of bruised.
He's going to make a run at Anthony the way he's going here lately.
12th time he's been hit. Rizzo's already been hit 20 times. It doesn't seem like Rizzo's been hit almost twice as much, but he has. It's crazy. .94 hit by pitches in Anthony Rizzo's career. He would like to bruise the baseball. The 0-1 is outside.
Well, Lively's he's vulnerable here because his command is not very sharp. Mostly he's been missing out of the zone, but make a mistake over the heart of the plate, hang a breaking ball, and Rizzo's going to make him pay.
One ball, one strike. Cubs trail by a run. Deep center. And it will go. He bruised it. And the Cubs lead 4-2.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. A mistake breaking ball out over the heart of the plate. And he paid for his sins. Walk, hit batter, hanging breaking ball, and a 3-spot for the boys in blue.
Number 29. He's got 88 RBIs.
Here's your Toyota home run replay. A hanging breaking ball saying, hit me, hit me. And Anthony obliges.
Lively had not allowed a homer over his last 3 starts going into tonight as Ian Happ does the in-game interview. One strike on Alex Avila. Boy, Ian Happ attacks those in-game interviews like he does his main job. He's a very focused individual. Let's see, he was listening intently. Cubs have their largest lead of the series. 1-2. The wind and the pitch. He's run it full after an 0-2 start. That one hit pretty well. Florimone, no, will get to it right in front of the 409 marker.
Hey, let's take a look at the Ford upcoming schedule. The next 3 games, the finale of this series here tomorrow, and then the Pirates come to town.
Very PC matchup coming up at Wrigley. That was a river we just showed you. I'm not sure exactly which one, but it was a river.
Where?
On our screen.
Oh, maybe the Schuylkill?
Schuylkill. The 0-1 to Almora is off the plate inside for a ball.
Is that the University of Pennsylvania over there with the lights?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Yes. It's a kind of a semi-question, semi-guess.
Doug Glanville, right? Went to Penn.
Yes, he did.
Mark DeRosa.
DeRosa was the quarterback there, right?
Mm-hmm. Three and 1 to Almora. Here's the pitch. 3-2.
Got a little anxious there. Understandable on 3-1. Eyes get a little big when you see that elevated heater. Would have been ball 4, but every now and then you got to take a whack at one. Still got one to play with.
Swing and a miss. Bat goes flying. As Almora strikes out. Rizzo, 3-run homer, and the Cubs lead 4-2. Opened in 2004, replacing the vet. Swing and a miss by Cesar Hernandez. 4-2 Cubs, 3rd inning. Playing surface here is 23 feet below street level. Got the football stadium, the hockey and basketball arena, Everything right here in this small 2-block area in South Philly. Very convenient.
Unless there's 2 events going on at the same time, then parking or leaving can get to be a bit of an issue. But yeah,
that's true.
There's subway runs right here by the ballpark.
Two count on Hernandez. The pitch tapped on the ground, charged by Bryant. He's got to hurry. Out at first on a close play.
Don't mark your scorecard yet, folks. I think the Phillies are going to take a look at this one.
So Mickey Morandini, the first base coach, already telling Pete McCann he thought he was safe, and Pete will challenge. If you challenge this early, 3rd inning, pretty good chance you're going to get that call reversed. You don't want to lose your challenge this early.
Yeah, I would think you would want near certainty from the guys in the video room before you challenge at this stage of the ball game, especially given the circumstances. You know, it's not an RBI situation. It looked like he beat it.
This manager's challenge is brought to you by the Subaru Love Promise. It's our pledge to do right by the Chicagoland communities where we all live and work. Quick call coming. Safe. So they do reverse it. That's another infield hit for Hernandez.
He gets a bunch of them.
He's got 26 now in the season, among the league leaders.
I don't know if Chris barehands that ball, you know, if he's going to make it that much more quickly over to first base. And it looked like it had a lot of funky spin on it, too, coming off the end of the bat.
See, that's replay at its best. That took 33 seconds. Galvis doubled and scored in the first. Throw over, Hernandez back. These are the 2 guys in this current order who run. Hernandez and Galvis each with 13 steals. The rest of the lineup tonight has 1 stolen base combined. There's a stabs at it with the bunt attempt and missed it.
Both Hernandez and Galvis pretty adept too at bunting for base hits. With Hendricks out there, ground ball pitcher. I understand why they'd be thinking the bunt or a little hit and run. If he gets too big of a lead over there, Kyle will get him. Kyle's got a very quick pickoff move.
I had a nice conversation around the batting cage with Pete McCann today about the Galvis attempted steal of home with Rhys Hoskins at the plate, and just how weird things happen. Hernandez runs and Galvis fouls. John Jay, with his team down 2, got thrown out trying to steal second in the 9th inning the other night. Pete told a great story. He said, when I was coaching third base with the Expos back in the 90s, he said we had a runner at second, 2 outs, 9th inning, playing the Braves. Darren Fletcher hit a single out into right center. Andrew Jones went to get it. He said there's no way the throw's going to go to the plate because that run doesn't matter. The throw's going to go to second to keep the tying run out of scoring position, right? Fly ball the other way. It's Schwarber to make the catch. So Pete sent the runner. Sure enough, Andrew picked up the ball, fired a seed to home plate, said the guy's out by 5 feet. Said we're playing the Braves. I know I'm on TBS, and I just have a stone face, and I'm thinking, why did he throw to the plate? That's the wrong play by Andrew Jones. He's
counting on the guy to make the smart play. And
the smart play was to throw to second, but the game ended. And I said, but you can't tell that to anybody because nobody would buy it. He goes, no, you're right. But the point is that those things do happen.
Sure.
And as frustrating as they are, that was kind of a 1 in a million situation. And you know, Expos fans at the game that night were going, what in the world was he thinking at third base?
Hernandez hit a double last night, tried to go in standing instead of sliding, slipped off the base and was tagged out.
The pitch, swing and a miss. Yeah, the game wouldn't be nearly as fun to watch and cover and announce if everybody always did the right thing, right? Got to have the human factor. And sometimes mistakes turn into things that work out. You just never know.
Yeah, unintended consequences.
Yeah. Kyle could use a win. It's been a while. He's pitched well. That's going to be close. They got him. He caught Hernandez leaning. 2 away.
That's what, 3 or 4 for him this year. Quick feet, good throw, and then a quick tag applied by Anthony.
That is his 4th pickoff and the 11th of his career.
Nobody puts the whammy on you quite like the Fanatic. San Diego Chicken may have invented that move, but the Fanatic perfected it.
Two pitch inside, 3-2. You'd like to get Williams and face Hoskins to lead off the 4th. He's on deck.
And with a changeup last time.
Called strike 3. Williams has had a really tough time in this series. Cubs lead 4-2 after 3. Wins Casinos, your entertainment escape. Our Toyota home run cam, Tommy La Stella with number 4. That was in the 2nd, and then Anthony Rizzo 3-run blast in the 3rd to give the Cubs the lead, number 29. And here's Tommy leading off the fourth.
Lively's had a hard time keeping the ball down. With the fastball and the breaking ball have been up quite a bit.
Season average at 300. But he strikes out here for the first out. A reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Baez takes a heater outside, ball one. El Mago made quite a catch late last night. Didn't matter. Cubs dropped the game 7-1, but
yeah, it's fun to watch. And
he still makes a play every day, it seems. It has us wowing.
One of the most entertaining players in the sport.
High pitch count. Not going to be a very long night for Lively, it appears. It's now 1-2. Our Hooters hot play brought to you by your Chicagoland Hooters, the original wing joint.
He just turned and ran right to the spot. One peek over the head. Reaches out. Take it to the end zone.
Popped into short right. Hernandez from the second base position. That's Baez again. Now the pitcher Hendricks with 2 outs, nobody on. Final from earlier today. Yankees beat the Mariners 6-3 in New York. Greg Bird back in the Yankee lineup. Got on base 3 times. He had been out since early May with ankle/foot issues. Outside for a ball.
Cardinals trail the Rays 3-0. They're in the 5th in St. Louis.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cubs go in order for the first time tonight. They lead the game, however, 4-2.
Authentics auction page every week for your chance to own one-of-a-kind Cubs items. This week's auction includes a Hendricks and an Almora jersey. Go to Cubs.com/authentics before Sunday at 8 to place your bid. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
Rhys Hoskins hit a 2-run homer in the first, his 10th in just 17 major league games. Bounces foul for a strike. 4-2 Cubs. Phillies batting here in the fourth. Oh, 0-2 on him. The pitch in the dirt. Hoskins, one of 13 Phillies to make their major league debut this season. That is a major league high.
And they have a very young roster, just like the club we just saw, the Reds. Reds have kind of a core of players that have been in the big leagues for a while. They have a lot of young pitchers. And Phillies are just young all the way around.
Bounce past the mound. Baez gets rid of it quickly, and he got him. Most hits since the All-Star break by players 25 and younger. The Cubs lead the way as you check out your Honda League leaders, sponsored by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Joseph caught looking in the first. Swing and a miss. He's had a good week. Came in hitting .381 on this homestand. 5 games, 3 homers for Joseph. 19 overall. He's only 26. Second round pick of the Giants, 2009. He came over in the Hunter Pence deal in 2012. First baseman and catcher coming up, but has not caught in the big leagues. And he waits on an 0-2 from Hendricks. Deep to center. Almora will make the catch on the warning track. Nicely done by Albert Almora Jr. Tico.
Joseph hits this ball sharply, a little bit of maybe a half a step in before Almora realizes, no, that's not going to work, and retreats, takes a great route. He almost always does. Great concentration before running into the wall.
So Tico retires Tojo, and here's Franco. Hendo has him down 0-1.
Should have gone with the professor.
Well, he may think that's a bit immodest. Swing and a miss for the third out. They go in order. 4-2 Cubs. Brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Phillies Cubs 23-22 game, May 17th, 1979. 3 players had 5+ RBIs. Can you name those 3? Level of difficulty 9 out of 10. I'd say that's a 10 out of 10. But
how about Dave Kingman?
okay. Steve Ontiveros, is he playing that day? Strike called on John Jay.
How about Greg Luzinski?
See, at least for me, I don't know if you actually have knowledge of who knocked in 5 or more that day. I have no clue.
No, I'm just picking,
I remember the game.
I'm just picking sluggers.
But yeah, I'm just, Gary Maddox. I know Tim McCarver played in that game, but I think he pinch hit, so he would not be a choice.
Get out of that kitchen, Bebo.
Bill Buckner. Ivan DeJesus.
It's not Mike Schmidt.
We're just basically giving you all the guys who played in that game.
Dick Ruthven.
All right, so our Subaru stumper. Bob Boone.
Bob Boone. Well, you're talking catcher. So we got Kingman and Buckner and kind of. So we get a C+, B-.
Yeah. Good rip by Schwarber. So there were 2 pitchers who appeared in that game who did not give up a run.
How many pitchers pitched in that game?
I'm guessing probably about 10.
And only 2 of them went unscathed.
Yeah. 10. There were 10.
Misery loves company.
How about they tell us in the truck who started for both teams? I'm guessing both starters gave up runs as Schwarber strikes out. Dennis Lamp started.
Weren't the starters both out of it real early,
didn't
right?
Lamp hit a home run? I could be wrong. Bryant has reached twice, single and a hit by pitch, scored a run in the 3rd on the Rizzo home run.
Well, it's funny. I said one of the keys to the game was to put it in play. The Cubs have been striking out a ton lately. Lively has not struck out very many at all in his big league starts. He had just 21 strikeouts in 48 2/3 innings, but punched out 8 here tonight.
Cubs struck out 14 times last night. Randy Lerch started that game in '79 for the Phillies. He homered in the top of the 1st, and then he could not get out of the bottom of the 1st. Strike called, 2-1. So if I could have given you that performance, okay, would you have taken it on your resume? If I could tell you right now, Jim DeShays, you would have hit a home run in your career because you didn't have an extra base hit, but that day you didn't get out of the 1st
Yeah,
inning.
absolutely, I would take it.
So you take a little hit to your career ERA to know that you homered.
To hit a big league home run,
Gotcha.
absolutely.
Chris Bryant launches way out of here, 5-2.
There's a little revenge. Hit by a pitch last time up. We were talking big league home runs, and boom. There goes number 24 for KB. Stands for kaboom.
Chris Bryant, kind of bruised. Kaboom.
All right, Toyota home run cam. It's up and it's out. Not an easy pitch to get to, but a great explosive swing of the bat. Yeah, you know, I was looking for the ball out over the plate and up a little bit, and happy with the pat on the backside. Rarely does the interviewer do that. You morph from interviewer into teammate like that. Lively had only given up 4 home runs in his 8 big league starts coming into this game. They've touched him up for 3 here tonight.
Rizzo got him in the 3rd. The bonus part of our trivia. Raleigh Eastwick got the win, 2 innings, no runs. Ray Burris of the Cubs recorded 5 outs and was not charged with a run. 23-22. Rizzo again, right center. Goodbye. Right where LaStella hit one earlier. 6-2. They go back to back.
Anything you can do, I can do better. That was really impressive. 1 ball, 2 strike. Takes that 2-strike approach where he chokes up a little bit and just tries to be quick. He's willing to just hit a line drive somewhere. Well, that line drive ended up in the Cubs bullpen.
Number 30. Toyota home run cam has been busy tonight.
Watch how quick this swing is. Watch, real quiet with the lower body, just sets the foot down. Kawah.
He's 2 away from his career high of 32, with 32 in 2014, and again last year. Ian Happ has been really busy. Four Cub home runs tonight. Well, he has walloped a couple. And he might get a couple more shots. As Avila, that ball knocked down by Galvis. Nice play. Alex has hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight. Back to back, and the Cubs lead 6-2 in the 5th. Scored 6 times on 4 home runs tonight in support of Kyle Hendricks, who's looking for his first win since late May. Spent some time on the DL in the interim.
Kyle's been awfully sharp here tonight. He gave up the 2-run home run to Hoskins back in the first. Pretty good pitch. Hoskins went down and got. It was a changeup, I believe. And very good action on that pitch. Starts Florimon with one. He doesn't get the chase though.
1-0 on the way. It's a high strike.
Fun to watch pitch. 85, 86 miles an hour. It's all about movement, location, and change of speeds.
Swing and a miss on the change. It's Drew Anderson in the Phillies bullpen. Pitcher spot due up third here in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Changed him up again.
Hey, let's take a look at how Kyle Hendricks has been painting the corners. Brought to you by Benjamin Moore. Paint like no other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts for him now. That ties the season high. And again, it's that changeup sinker combination. He's had these Philly hitters off stride all night long out in front of the changeup. Then they're kind of trying to stay back, and he'll freeze them with that 2-seam fastball over the inside corner. They are bewildered, befuddled, and for the most part, walking back to the dugout.
No walks. Swing and a miss. 87 on Alfaro, who doubled in the 2nd inning.
He's El Oso.
I think that means the bear. Yes, he got that nickname when he signed with the Rangers.
Wasn't Anthony the Bear last year, a couple years ago?
Yeah, that sounds right. Softly lined in the left. He's 2 for 2 from the 8th spot. Hey, Cub fans, if you miss any of tonight's action, ABC 7 rebroadcasts each one of its Cubs matchups on the Live Well Network. Tonight's Cubs-Phillies encore will air in its entirety at 11 p.m. on ABC 7's digital channel 7.2 and the following cable channel positions. Hyun-Soo Kim off the bench. Left-hand bat takes a strike. Runner at first, 1 away. Cubs lead by 4. In the air, left field, and on a play.
Phillies got Kim from the Orioles end of July for Jeremy Hellickson.
Back to Hendricks. Baez at second, Rizzo first, double play, inning over after 5 from Philly. It's the Cubs 6 and the Phillies 2.
game. Tommy Joseph with one out in the fourth with a bid for extra bases, but Tico runs it down in deep center field. Beautiful catch by Albert Almora Jr. It's Selco's biggest sales of the year, folks. Right now, get $1 installation on windows, siding, and doors, plus no money down and no interest until 2019. Call 866-4FELTCO now.
Love how you say plus. You got that down.
Order now. We'll throw in a set of Ginsu knives.
Right-hander Drew Anderson getting ready for his second major league appearance. And this pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Personal customized banking. Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Reno, Nevada native, 21st round pick, 2012. Now more fouls.
9-4 with a 3.59 ERA at Double-A for Anderson.
Center field, it's Florimon. Dunkin' Donuts fun can time. America runs on Dunkin'. This seems right up your alley here, JD.
Yeah, well, they're doing a little dirty dancing thing. You know that scene where she dives off the stage. It's all about the eyes for the fanatic.
Listella, a homer and a strikeout. So it's Drew Anderson, Andrew J. Anderson. He could be Andy Anderson, but he goes by Drew instead. And a slow curve for a strike. It's 0-2 on Listella.
It's the entire 2015 season with Tommy John surgery.
Franco has it for out number 2. And the shortstop Baez. The Cubs DL'd players are all progressing well. John Lester will throw a simulated game on Monday. Justin Grimm threw out in the bullpen today, hoping to do a rehab assignment in the next week. Addison Russell coming along well. Wilson Contreras a little bit behind everybody else, but I mean, he's doing well. It's just it's an injury that is going to take a little longer to come back from. And actually, he seems to be ahead of schedule. A 2-0 swing and a miss. 2-1. Nice to have a team at full health.
Yeah, Addy's taking a little longer than I anticipated. He's
2-2.
Getting anxious.
Anderson trying to find the right grip. 2-2 pitch. Just missed the outside. 3-2 with the pitcher on deck.
Almost like an extended spring training with the Phillies with all the young pitchers and the rookie catcher trying to get to know each other back there. So when you bring a young catcher to the big leagues with young pitchers, they probably most of them have worked together in the minor leagues. That may actually provide a little comfort for a young pitcher. sometimes you're hesitant to impose your will as a young pitcher with a veteran catcher back there. You just kind of cede all the responsibility to him, and that's not always a good thing.
Pounded on the ground to Galvis. And Ubite hustling by a 6-2 Cubs in the sixth.
Cold in the National League. Gio Gonzalez making a push for a Cy Young Award since the break. 6-1 with a .146. He's hot. Ivan Supernova is not hot. 2-5 with a 6. Here in the second half, he's allowed 10 home runs. Today's hot and cold players brought to you by Plumbers 911. Emergency plumbing service is one click away at plumbers911.com.
1-0. Cesar Hernandez. Fly ball to left. Drifting back is Schwarber now. Has his feet set, makes the grab.
Cubs are celebrating Bud Fridays in the Budweiser bleachers all season long. On Friday, September 1, Budweiser will provide a Cubs printed bill cap up to the first 5,000 early arriving fans. 21 and older in the Budweiser bleachers. Get there early. For details, visit Cubs.com/Fridays.
Jason Hamill is going 1, 2, 3, 5 times to start the Royals game in Cleveland. 0-0 as they go to the bottom of the 6th.
Could be another Rich Hill situation. Clevenger for Cleveland. Pitching shutout ball, but he's allowed 4 hits, a couple of walks. He's struck out 9.
Two and 1 to Galvis. Avila sets up toward the outside. Looked like Kyle hit his spot, but Galvis would not offer. 3 and 1. John Lackey tomorrow against Nick Pivetta to wrap up the weekend. 3-1. Foul tip. 3-2.
Just thought he was going to get a heater there on 3 and 1. I'm not sure after the 3-1 changeup. What's a guy to do? probably foul one off.
Hendricks with a payoff pitch. Schwarber will get another chance, moving to his right this time. This father-son moment is brought to you by Sport Clips Haircuts. With over 90 Chicagoland locations, find yours at sportclips.com. Nothing better than chewing on some leather. Spitting into a bottle. Williams seems to be twisted up in a knot here this weekend.
Yeah, he's caught in between.
He's batted 6 times. He has struck out 5.
Now in front of the breaking ball and the off-speed stuff. Hasn't been able to pull the trigger on the fastball.
Oh, 0-2. Rhys Hoskins on deck. 0-2 on Williams. Pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out again. We go to the 7th. Cubs 6, Phillies 2. That is Skip Ellison. You hear his name a lot. Come on, Skip, wave at the camera. 34th and final Major League season. Directing games for the Atlanta Braves, the Chicago White Sox, but most importantly, the Chicago Cubs. Skip will be retiring after Monday's game against the Pirates. And we want to thank Skip for all his great work and wish him and his lovely wife Lori the best in retirement. Skip is a great baseball
well done,
fan,
sir.
a wonderful director, and we're going to have to keep him on speed dial. There's a base hit for Kyle Hendricks to lead off the 7th in terms of our U.S. history questions.
Yeah, we might have to coax Skip out of retirement from time to time just to pay us a visit. Hendricks doing everything here tonight. Pitching, picked a man off, started a double play. Now he has himself a knock.
John Jay with a man on and nobody out. So should I do a Harry thing here, kind of like he did with Arnie for Skip, which we never do? I'll do it on the air. There's a base hit. Hendricks on his way to third. Gary Jones will hold him. It's a double for John Jay. Cubs are in business.
Well, they might not need any more, but you might as well get them. Two-seam fastball, outer third. Jay does exactly what you're supposed to do with it. Stay on it, drive it the other way.
Hey Skip, can you get us a shot of some cool hats?
Get us a shot of the lake.
Get us a cool hat shot. They're right on cue. We can't get a shot of the lake. There's water.
There's the Schuylkill.
He is all over it.
Hey, that might be Penn over there.
Fouled back by Schwarber. Hey Skip, how about a shot of Joe Madden? Can we get a shot of Cubs manager? See, this is fun. This could get really old really fast. But hey, can we get a shot of our director after the pitch? It's high.
Yeah, that's the one he chased last time. Good
Skip,
job.
one more shot of yourself. There you go. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Wearing him out.
We love you, Skip. He doesn't know where he's going next. Infield in.
Yeah, this is. Hey, Skip, get us a shot of the infield. This is kind of cool. They've got this, the infield in, but they still have to shift on.
Here's a 1-1 bounce foul, 1-2.
That's the kind of like in football. They talk about 9 men in the box.
How about the Liberty Bell? There you go. Kind of. Swing and a miss. Good changeup from Anderson to get him. And they will reconfigure their infield. Celebrate and honor Chicago's first responders by supporting Kyle Schwarber's inaugural block party event Sunday, September 10th. The event features premium meats straight off the flame, delicious appetizers, signature cocktails, and exclusive live and silent auction. Guests will play lawn games, listen to live music, and hang out alongside Cubs players and first responders in attendance. To buy tickets, it's Cubs.com/block party. KB stands for keep bashing.
Just to pick up his teammate. Schwarber obviously frustrated with the strikeout there in that situation. Second and third. Nobody out. Trying to make a little contact. Came up empty.
Infield in. A little more balance though around the infield than against Schwarber. And it's 2-0.
Pitching to Bryant here with the hopes of getting him, and then in all likelihood put Anthony on. Not going after him very aggressively. There's anything going on out in the Philly bullpen other than some chatting and chewing.
Cubs have hit their monthly average per game, 6 runs tonight. They'd love to get more. They've got a great chance here in the 7th. See the scar on that right elbow from the Tommy John surgery for Anderson. Long pause before 3-1, and it's hit foul out of play. 3-2. Anderson's first major league strikeout. Mike Trout. And he walked him. They're loaded. 4 plate appearances, 4 reaches for Chris Bryant. Mercedes-Benz drives of the game. Anthony Rizzo's hit 2 homers tonight. He's got 30 on the year.
Hanging breaking ball from Lively for the first one. That drove in 3. Then an elevated fastball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That is a most impressive swing of the bat. And himself his second Ian Happ interview of the night. And this has caused a little concern. The Philly group, they're out there having a long chat on the mound. And they're going to try to get out of this mess. And now there's a right-hander starting to loosen in the Philly pen.
Jason Terrien, right-hander. 4 straight 30 homer seasons for Anthony Rizzo.
He's already driven in 4 tonight.
Let's look at Cubs history. 30 homer seasons, 4 years and counting. Sammy did it 10 straight seasons. Rizzo, Wilson, Banks, Santo with 4 in a row. The kick in the 0-1.
Good let up from Anderson. And it's battle time again for Anthony.
Hendricks, Jay, and Bryant are the base runners. Foul to left. Still 0-2. He can turn a great night into a career night if he can launch one here. One and 2.
Shown the ability to shoot the fastball the other way. He's laid off the changeup away. So as a pitcher to catcher, that tells you, well, maybe we can beat him inside. That's risky business, though, if you don't make a quality pitch in there. Risky on 2 fronts. If it leaks out over the plate, you might hit it in the seats, and if you pull it, you might hit him and drive in a run that way. Not many good options, even in a favorable count against Anthony Rizzo.
That's knocked down, and everybody's safe. Another RBI for Rizzo. Give him 5 on the night. 7-2. Galvis kept it out of center field. Bases still loaded. And it'll bring up Alex Avila. 3-hit night for Rizzo.
Yeah, tricky little hop there for Galvis. Actually, he got leather on it before it hit the ground the second time.
Avila is 0 for 3, but the 2 times he's put a ball in plays, hit it hard. And fouls this time. RBI for Rizzo. Gives him 90 on the year to go along with his 30 homers. The 0-1. Outside. So Cubs trying to hold serve tonight with the Brewers just getting underway in Los Angeles here in a couple of minutes. Davies and Stripling, a pitching matchup in LA. Well, the third is late. 2-1 on Avila.
Well, not a bad idea by Alfaro to try to bail his pitcher out. Jay was wise to him.
No more no for Jason Hamill. He's trailing 2-0. We'll go to the 7th in Cleveland. 3-1.
Pirates trying to complete a 1-0 shutout of the Reds tonight.
That would be their second 1-0 win this week, right? They beat Rich Hill in extras. And the Josh Harrison home run the other night. Avila, deep right center. Grill, it's off the wall. He just missed it. As it is, he knocks in a couple. He smoked that ball and missed a home run by a few feet.
Well, I'm with you. I thought that ball was going to fly out of here. He just missed the grand slam and settled for a 2-run double. And as you mentioned, he's been on the ball all night tonight. This time he gets rewarded. Base of the wall.
I got the G and the R out. Couldn't get the rest of the word.
Had you, it would have gotten out of here.
You're right. This call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Personal customized banking. Lakeside Bank. It's about time. All Cubs will be back. Is being brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Hyundai. Visit your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers today and see how better drives us. And by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. 9-2 Cubs lead. Jason Terrian now pitching. Infield in, second and third. 3 runs have already scored. Parkman with a 2-run double. The latest hit.
Carrying another one of the rookies.
Base hit center field. Rizzo scores. Avila will be stopped at third, 10-2. Third consecutive run scoring hit for the Cubs.
Yeah, the route is on. First pitch breaking ball. Almora all over it, sharply through the middle of the diamond. Terrian greeted rather rudely. He pitched 21 times at Double-A. A 1.26 ERA there. 18 times at Triple-A. Had a 1.57 there. So he's going along nicely and hit a bit of a wall here at the big league level. That's not unexpected.
First and third, LaStella takes outside for ball one. So we mentioned Avila. He's got Parkman on his jersey tonight. It's a reference to the catcher from Major League Two. I saw the movie, but I don't really remember it. I wish we could give you some good quotes. LaStella with a base hit. Parkman is in. 11-2. They're keeping the line moving. His second hit an RBI tonight. And hitting coach John Maley loves it.
What's that? Contagious hitting again. It's sweeping the club.
He's being facetious if you can't hear it. Bob McClure out.
Terrian's from Montreal. Pitched for Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic.
Watch your source for everything Chicago. ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Weeknights at 10 with Chicago's team of Alan Krzyzewski, Kathy Brock, Cheryl Burton, Cheryl Scott, and Mark Giangreco. Five-run seventh inning. You know what this all coincides with? We put Skip Ellison on camera.
It's a Skip rally. We're going to have to hang on to that shot of Skip, and in future games, when Skip's not around, when we need a rally, we'll just have to pop that up there. So he's got, looks like he's got Montreal Nord on his back there, Terrian. From Polyvalent Edouard Montpetit High School. And then Ahuntsic College, I have no idea. Cap Rouge, Quebec. Ahuntsic.
Two-one. Popped him up, foul territory and out of play. So big league players from Montreal. See Eric Gagne.
Claude Raymond.
Is Real Cormier from there?
Real Frenchy Cormier. He pitched for the Phillies. I believe he was a Montreal guy. How about Ron Pichet, pitched for the Milwaukee Braves back in the day? I think he was a Montrealer.
They get one. That will be all. So they'll be at first and third with two outs. Hendricks led off the inning with a single. He'll bat again. mention Russell Martin?
I did not.
Also from Montreal.
Russell Martin's dad used to play the saxophone down in the metro in the subway in Montreal. His mom was on a television show. I think they were divorced, and he spent time. He went between Montreal and Ottawa.
The P9 stop, right?
P9,
Olympic Stadium.
Stade Olympique.
It's 3-0 on the pitcher. Make it 3-1. Driven out into right center. How about Kyle Hendricks? 2 hits here in the inning. He's going to knock in 2 with a double. 13-2 Cubs. They put up 7 this inning.
And that ball was really hammered by Hendricks. Hendo. What a rocket into the gap. Play the game. My goodness. How legit is that right there?
Cubs have scored the most runs in this ballpark, 13 tonight. Pregame meeting with the hitters. I said we're going to show Skip Ellison to go into the 7th. So if you guys could score 7 runs, we'd really appreciate it. I said, yep, no problem.
Accommodating of the Cubs here tonight.
If only it were that easy.
I guess the Italian being a big leaguer here should give hope to all young players. Basically, if you can play, they're going to find you, right?
Yes.
You know, he's signed out of, again, Ahunstick College in Cap Rouge, Quebec.
Couple of bounces to the shortstop, Galvis. The Skip Ellison inning yields 7 runs. The fanatic hurts.
Put away on it, Skip.
Join the Brotherhood of Muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance event going on now. The Pirates did hang on 1-0 over the Reds tonight. They've had a lot of trouble with Cincinnati this season, but they take that game. The Rays lead the Cardinals late 4-2, bottom of the 8th. Brewers and Dodgers just underway from Chavez Ravine. Been Kyle Hendricks' night. He's got an 11-run lead here in the 7th. He just had 2 hits in the top of this inning, including a 2-run double. 1 strike on Rhys Hoskins, who hit a 2-run homer in the first. The Cubs have scored the last 13 runs of this game.
You know, I think I had a season where I had 2 hits the whole year. He's got 2 in 1 inning. That was like 2 for 53 one year.
So he's had a season worth of hits.
It's pretty good. I hit into a lot of tough luck that year.
Yeah, your batting average on balls in play was really low. Shot the other way. Jay trapped it. Good try to hit for Hoskins. Let's see how Kyle Hendricks ranks in terms of first 4 major league seasons in Cubs history. This will be his 1-loss record. Pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously, you know, wins and losses, a lot of that is determined on whether you're on a good team or not. But he's also pitched extremely well. So if you look at his ERA, I'm sure that compares favorably too. However you want to break a pitcher down statistically.
So his 3.02 career ERA going into tonight ranks 5th among all active pitchers with at least 75 starts. Here are the 4 guys ahead of him: Kershaw, DeGrom, Sale, and Bumgarner. That's it. Lofted to left. Busy night for Schwarber. Joseph now 0 for 3. And it'll bring up Franco for the 3rd time. Guessing this will be his final inning. Big lead. No need to push the pitch count too much tonight.
Kenya, Uehara, Wilson all worked in the ball game last night.
Kyle's got a streak on the line tonight. He has allowed 8 or fewer hits in 66 consecutive starts. He's allowed 6 this evening. This particular streak is the 2nd longest in Cubs history. Kind of an odd one, but popped up. And Stella in the grass. Cubs fans join Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest for an all-new action-packed season. Live with Kelly and Ryan premieres September 5th, weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC 7.
Where's Regis? Not on there anymore?
You need to catch up. Strike called on Florimon. Swing and a miss on a changeup.
Florimon and Williams, man, combined they've come to bat 5 times and they've struck out 5 times, and they've looked completely lost. There's no quitting that fanatic. He's not giving up.
Let's see if Bryant has some room. Fair amount of foul territory in this ballpark. I always like saying fair amount of foul territory. 13-2 after 7. Firm where we want you to sleep happy guarantee. Remember, if it's over 8, it's time to replace. So you look at Cubs history, fewest games to 20 career home runs. Kyle Schwarber, the current record holder, but Ian Happ has hit 19 over his first 84 games. So our sideline reporter has a chance to make history at some point here in the next couple weeks.
Well, it's a little mental health AB here for Kyle. Walked first time. He struck out 3 in a row since then.
A little low.
See if he can join the party. 13 runs on 12 hits for the Cubs tonight.
The pitch on the ground to Hernandez. Out number 1. We'll bring up Chris Bryant. Yoxel Rios up in the Phillies bullpen.
That's a name I've never heard before. Yoxel.
Breaking ball misses low and outside. The kick and the pitch. Missed again. Brian Dunsing and Lester Strode chatting in the Cubs bullpen. They have the upper bullpen. An infamous story when they built this ballpark. The Phillies had the upper bullpen, but you see the fans are hanging over that railing, and they didn't like the fans being that close. They often heard words that they didn't like hearing, so they said, let's put the visitors here.
Yeah, take the abuse. I think Billy Wagner might have been behind that shift.
Get abused enough on the road.
Yeah.
A lot of Cub fans up there on that railing. 3-1. He missed it. 3-2.
Bullpen guys probably feel like animals in a zoo out there.
Payoff pitch. High fly. Medium depth and center. And it's Florimon to put it away. Time for our Hyundai plays of the game. Been a night of home runs for the Cubs. Estella, Rizzo twice. Bryant in the 5th. And Anthony with 3 hits in all. 5 RBIs, 3 runs. A big night of offense. 13 runs on 12 hits. And the main ingredient right in the middle of it.
Boy, he had bid for another one right there. Good swing at that 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Terrian. Anthony now 8 out of 18 on the road trip.
He was the player of the week in the NL last week. Cardinals got 2 in the 8th to tie Tampa Bay, so they go to the 9th 4-4. Pirates a winner, 1-0 at Cincinnati. Garrett Cole got his first career win against the Reds. Another ball hit hard, flagged down by Galvis. Just stole away a hit from Rizzo, and the Cubs go down 1-2-3. They lead late 13-2. Make sure to think Midwest Equity Mortgage. Whether it's purchase or refi, Midwest Equity's Chicago-based team has you covered. Midwest Equity is a Cranes Fast 50 and Better Business Bureau A+ rated company. Apply today at MidwestEquity.com. Midwest Equity Mortgage. We bring it home.
Just contemplating that statue of Rocky Balboa there. Brian Dunsing enters the ball game. This is his 55th appearance. And most of them have been really good. He's got a 2.45 ERA. The league bats 2.31 against the veteran left-hander. How many fictitious characters have statues honoring them?
Well, the Fonz.
The Fonz, right? Yeah.
Milwaukee. Rocky. It's going to be my Twitter feed now for the next 24 hours. Thanks. Fair ball, and it got him. Avila made the right decision and gets his man. Daniel Nava came into play right in the 7th as part of a double switch. He came off the DL last night. And when 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter, robbed of a hit. That was the Baez catch late. Nava had been on the DL with a lower back strain. Just missed outside for a ball. Mary Tyler Moore. I think it's the character, right? Mary, right?
Mary Richards.
Richards.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a statue? I guess yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a statue honoring Mary Tyler Moore. This happens to be in her Mary Richards pose.
Yes, it is. So I could say it's a Sylvester Stallone statue here, right?
Could, yeah.
And Henry Winkler in Milwaukee. I'm gonna have.
No, I would throw Mary in there with the other two, but I'm gonna go with fictional.
You don't think she's fictional?
No, I am.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
You're gonna. Okay. Ground ball, base hit.
How many Rockies did they end up making? Like 5 of them, wasn't there?
I think at least 4.
And the original Rocky is considered a pretty good movie, right? Didn't it? They get Oscar nominations.
Fantastic.
They got Best Picture, right?
Yeah. I remember seeing it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a Forrest Gump statue at Navy Pier? Someone tweeted. Okay, so there's a Mr. Rogers statue, I guess, in Pittsburgh, but
it's hard to separate the guy
Fred
from because it's Fred Rogers and it's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
I would say that is really him.
Yeah.
John Jay makes the catch. Fictional statues. Yeah, that's our 13-2 material. 2 outs. Here's Freddie Galvis.
Now, did you like Mr. T better as Clubber Lang or as the guy in the A-team? BA.
I can't tell you I've ever thought of it. You know, were you here with Mr. T? We had him in the booth.
No.
Fantastic. No. Great guy. I'm good with him in anything. He was a sweet guy. And he did the stretch. Did you have a preference?
No.
Did you ask the question?
I was just running the characters of the Rocky movies through my head, and I go, oh yeah, that was Mr. T. He was in the A-Team with George Peppard.
We have gone off the rails. 2-2.
Now that would be a good nickname for Players Weekend, though. Clubber, right? If you're a big slugger.
Tarian could have been Mr. T. 3-2. Rocking the quality shades.
Incognito.
Runner goes, fly ball to right. Jay makes the catch. Nice work by Dunsing. Gave up a hit, no runs. We go to the ninth, 13-2 Cubs. Brought to you by the 2017 Mazda CX-9. Mazda, driving matters. And this pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Personal customized banking, Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Yaxel Rios.
Yet another young right-hander coming out of the Phillies bullpen. He's appeared in just 2 games. So far, so good. Split time between AA Reading and AAA Lehigh Valley. Posted sub-2 ERAs at both those stops. Spent most of last year at Class A Clearwater.
Avila takes high. Ball 1. Cubs put this game to bed with a 7-run 7th inning.
Yaxel is from Puerto Rico. 12th round pick of the Phillies in 2011.
Three and 0. Everything up.
If you played jumble with his first name, he could be Slacky.
Ball 4.
John Lackey's pitching tomorrow. Quality baby right there. Hanging in there for 9. Over to the top.
Ball 1 to Almora.
Here's a fun one. This date in baseball history at Wrigley Field, 1929, 8th inning of a 5-5 ball game. Cubs third baseman Norm McMillan hits a line drive down the left field line with the bases loaded. Reds left fielder Ivar Swanson is shaded towards left center. Can't find the ball, which bounces off a gutter in foul territory. McMillan circles the bases. Everybody scores. Later on, Cubs relief pitcher Ken Penner picks up his jacket in the bullpen, only to discover the ball in his right sleeve. That happened on this date in 1929 at Wrigley Field. If you take one of the great guided tours there at the ballpark, they would probably tell you that story.
29. That was the year the Philadelphia Athletics beat the Cubs, right? In the World Series.
Oh, those teams, those late 20s, early 30s. Athletics loaded, some of the best teams in baseball history.
Almora is out now. Tommy La Stella, a homer and an RBI single, 2 for 4. Felix Pena up in the bullpen. Yeah, if in 1929 you had said to a baseball fan the Phillies are going to outlast the A's in the city of Philadelphia, they'd have laughed at you, right?
Yeah.
The A's were the
they were the powerhouse.
The dominant team here in this city. In their American League run before they moved on to Kansas City and Oakland. Fouled off. So I guess, it does beg the question. We've got 2 teams in Chicago, 2 in New York, 2 in the LA metropolitan area, the Bay Area. Is there another city out there that could take on a second major league team? The one place you hear is that there still is talk about a 3rd team in
the New York metro
area. The New York area. Yeah. One and 2 on La Stella. Here's the pitch. That one missed badly.
The 1929 Philadelphia A's finished 104-46.
Beat the Cubs 4-1 in the World Series.
Hall of Famer Al Simmons, Jimmy Fox, Lefty Grove. Mickey Cochran.
The 3-2. We will try it again. Good battle. Tommy's not going to give away an at bat. High fly to right. Well hit. Number 2 tonight for La Stella. That might be his first career 2-homer game. We'll check it out. Big night for the Bats. 15-2.
Boy, what a big night for Tommy La Stella, and no doubt about it, both of his home runs, great swings. He is so quick. Excel Rios with a challenge fastball, and he jumps all over it. There's your Toyota home run replay. High and deep and out of sight.
First career 2-homer game. He came in with 7 career home runs.
8-pitch at bat, fouls off 5, and then goes deep.
A 15-2 lead.
Mago does not have a hit yet tonight. Reached on a fielder's choice, scored in the 7th.
Cub fans cheering and Phillies fans trying to drown them out with booing. 3-0 to Baez. Well, Players Weekend, it's a lot about getting back to your roots, and the Little League World Series, getting to the title game. Team from Lufkin, Texas will take on Japan.
Lufkin is in the Houston area. These kids obviously with concerns with all the weather they're getting back in Texas.
Baez walks. Ben Zobrist will pinch hit. In the U.S. title game, Lufkin was down 5-0 and came back for a 6-5 win.
North Carolina, is that who they were playing?
Yes, Greenville, North Carolina.
I watched, I was flipping the channels around this afternoon, and the Japan versus Mexico game was on. The kid from Japan was striking everybody out.
Zobrist for Dunsing. Baez not being held. Ball 1. Good foul. 0-2 on Zobrist.
Nick Pivetta will pitch for the Phillies tomorrow. He's another rookie. He's made 19 starts, has an ERA of 6.73. He's had a hard time keeping the ball in the ballpark. Scheduled to pitch tomorrow, and you watch this one, it's enough to cause you to lose sleep.
this year. Pete Buchanan got a contract extension through next season. He added a club option for 2019. Zobrist to right, and it is gone. 17-2. Cubs have hit 6 tonight.
Seems like it's been a little while since Ben went deep. Let's take a look at the Toyota home run cam once again. Stays back nicely, head on it, explosive swing of the bat. Leisurely jog around the bases for Ben Zobrist in a pinch hitting role this time.
High drive to center off the bat of John Jay. At the wall, it is caught. A near miss as Florimon might be banged up. Looked like his left arm took the worst of that. Well, that was Zobrist's first home run since July 14th.
The first day of the second half. And John Jay, he's hit like 3 to the wall on this road trip. Couple in Cincinnati just missed. And this one just a little bit shy of flying out of here. Mid-interview, their attention diverted.
I hope he did the play-by-play. It's a fireworks show tonight.
Hey, put your microphone down and grab a bat.
Popped up by Schwarber. Joseph had to navigate around Brandon Hyde. So we go to the bottom of the ninth. Cubs lead by 15. Cubs have tied their season high with 6 home runs, and they've scored their most runs against the Phillies since the 23-22 game we referenced earlier tonight. That was In 1979, Rizzo and La Stella each have gone deep twice. Obrist a pinch hit blast. This will be the pro debut for Ian Happ at third base.
He just started taking ground balls there the other day with an eye towards maybe mixing, getting into the mix there at third base a little bit. He's got plenty of arm. Good athlete.
And this pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Personal, customized banking. Lakeside Bank. It's about time. It's Felix Pena. Pitched an inning last night. Gave up a home run to Maikel Franco. This is Ty Kelly. On the pitch. Fastball just off the corner, apparently, maybe high. 1-1.
Well, Williams struck out 3 times tonight. And, struck out 3 times last night, so he might be getting the day off tomorrow. Maybe Kelly will get a start, and this way he gets to see a little live pitching in advance of perhaps a start tomorrow.
That one dumped into center in front of Almora. Leadoff single for Kelly. Here comes Hoskins, 2 for 3 with a home run.
Ty Kelly looks a little bit like Paul Simon.
The senator or the singer?
The singer.
I'd have to get another look.
Yeah.
Record-setting 10th homer in his 17th major league game. This one popped up.
That one's high enough.
Estella has it, 1 away. I don't see it.
You got to get a more straight-on look in the eyes. There's no Paul Simon there. Put a chicken suit on him. Put a guy next to him with a goofy hairdo. Can we get a shot of Paul Simon, please? Get a side-by-side.
Skip, can you get a shot of Paul Simon? Here's Joseph.
Ron Coomer was telling the story the other day that when he was with the Yankees, Paul Simon would drop into their clubhouse from time to time, and Bernie Williams, of course, an accomplished guitarist, would have some guitars in his locker, and Paul would come over and grab a guitar, sit down, start strumming and playing, and the next thing you know, they'd have a little mini concert going on, and Joe Torre would have to come in and chase everybody out so they could take batting practice.
Paul beat it. We got a game to play. One. No swing.
Ground ball double play would be a good way to end the ball game. Phillies 2 came way back in the bottom half of the first inning on the Hoskins home run. They should have cut off the jam right then.
2 down as Pena strikes out Joseph. And this will be a comeback win for the Cubs technically. Franco the man on, 2 down, 9th inning. Cubs lead 17-2. And the pitch. Low. Brewers Dodgers still 0-0. 4th inning in LA. Cubs will wake up tomorrow with at least a 3-game lead in the Central. They should do it. Kyle Schwarber is in. Cubs win. Cubs win. They blow them out tonight. 6 homers, 14 hits. That was fun.
Yeah, well, after a night anything but fun last night, where the Cubs lost 7-1, had a lot of chances and couldn't cash in. Yeah, a nice night when they break out in a big way. 6 home runs, 2 for Rizzo, 2 for La Stella. Zobrist, Bryant also go deep. Kyle Hendricks back in the win column. A lot of good headlines for this one here tonight.
Cubs 17, Philadelphia 2. We'll wrap it up next. Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7 is being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. By Lakeside Bank, personal customized banking. Lakeside Bank, it's about time.